Hello everyone, this is Peter Stone, and I will be showing you a couple of things I do on my bike to work the uppers and to work my balance and agility. Riding this bike hand-free, not to impress you, but to give you tools to do high performance should you look for that in life. So this area right here is all green. This is part of the place where I live every day, and over here is a nice pond with water fountains and the swimming pool and a small gym, and it's just right size for me. There's not crowds, it's quiet here like most of the time. A motorcycle or a bicycle, that's about it, and an occasional car. So this is really like comfortable space. I love it. So I'm going to take a couple of rides here and show you 3 different things I do. And why do I go through the green? Because when I come from my house, whether it's early in the morning or in the evening, I want to connect. You can hear, you see butterflies, you hear birds, flowers, really fragrant flowers called lilawadi here in Thailand, and the breeze blowing in my ear. Before I go out and get fully engaged, I loosen up, connect with nature, connect with myself, and then get into the burn. So I'll just show you 3 different positions.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
So in the end, that ride right here, with my hands out like this, I'm doing a little connecting with the universe. There's no rush about this. I like to be a gazelle. Smooth, swift, strong, fast, and trying to have the lion catch my ass. That's working on the pathway to the best I got. So, what's your best? Peter Stone, rocking it, living it, loving it, and I just want more after a ride like this. So, thanks. Good evening, everyone. This is Peter Stone, and that was a little bike ride that I did probably 4 years ago. And I am not in the best shape at that point in time. I had just gotten back from an event in California. I did a little event with Bo Eason, and he got talking about lions. And I said, well, lion has a hard time catching a gazelle. They're small, they're fast, they're swift. So I gave him a little message. And working on my best self, and you too can work on your best self. It's there. When I'm riding my bike, and for those of you that didn't see this on Instagram. Oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you're on Instagram, we have a YouTube channel, Fairs, Festivals, and Events, Total Life Freedom. We have Peter Stone Live, And because this is more of a health and a wellness energy generating session here, how to catch your energy all day long, staying fit and living into your day. Something, well, quite frankly, I've been focusing on since, I would say, 1992. I had my back locked up once, and that was the last time. My back hurt once, and that was the last time. Really pain. I mean, I get little things in between, but that's just normal movement. When we stretch ourselves, you might twist your back or, your arm, everything. Doesn't matter. You bruise a leg or you kick a foot, whatever those are, it's normal everyday stuff. But to have a constant backache, no. Or to have such a sharp pain, like, I know these are messages. Our pain is a messenger. Guess what? In most cases, we can have, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but I am talking about me when I say we, and my observation of others who work to solve their challenges without popping a pill, without popping meds. You've got a challenge like I had with that. I mean, it just only happened once. I got out of my car, bucket seats, Z28, driving, drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee, about 3 donuts per day. So I'm like, I need to change. But I kept on saying that. So I actually, I had an intention there to change. But I needed a messenger. And that one time I got out to deposit a check in the bank, and my bank locked up. I was in my 30s, right? And I'm like saying, no, what do I got to do? I just went and changed it. So you too can change anything. My knees were blown out when I was 20 years old from dancing. I used to tend bar in Baltimore. When I was in marine engineering school, and I tell you, it's like all the joints were down the street. I was in the center city, old Baltimore, before it was beautiful Baltimore. I mean, it was a rat hole, really. The harbor was so bad. And I went from this little town, Manchester by the Sea, and lived in this 14-story building, which was my school. And I tended bar in this place next door. And dancing, having a blast, keeping the bar open till 4 a.m. with the cops. I mean, we had a good time, right? I mean, it's supposed to close at 2, but we sometimes would see the sunrise. So that was back in the day. I think I was probably 19, 20, and so I blew my knee out one time. And then riding a motorcycle, when I was in Florida, I had my Honda Goldwing stock in Jacksonville Beach. I was out dancing one night, and my other knee got blown out. So both knees got blown out. I mean, like sideways, like all the cartilage, tendons, everything got ruined. I never had a knee replacement. It's a chondroitin supplements, MSM, glutathione. I mean, the things that you read online. So I did that. And then this woman who had both knees replaced, I'm like, no, thanks. She said, Peter, one of the best things you can do is bend your knees. Riding your bicycle, you ride it all the time. It's probably no wonder my knees don't bother me unless I get a little extra weight. That's when they bother me. And so I know that's another indicator. Hey, Peter, maybe you should be eating a little less, right? So if I get off track. But for the most part, I maintain my weight. I lost, it took me probably 19 years to lose 20 pounds. I mean, but I lost it in a very short time. And staying fit. And I was in the transition when I was riding this bike. I wasn't in my best shape, but I had set a goal to stay fit, strong, and I want to share how you can stay fit. Don't forget to subscribe because I talk about this stuff quite a bit. And I have a friend that he's like an elder, 1 year older than me. And I see him. He's a raw foodist. Everything he has desserts, everything he makes is raw, and he's like 70, I guess, and he's in like the best shape. I mean, his skin is perfect. I mean, you would never know. He's just like really. And another thing, he doesn't eat any meat, so meat actually is like an animal has to be violent to chew up the meat, right? So if you eat more vegetables and fruit, you're a little bit more less aggressive, let's say that. Okay. So, I mean, these are little things that I've learned along the way. And so I saw him, he goes, Peter, he says, I see you riding bike, like I'm riding up the hill, and sometimes at night, but I surprised, but I've been like in the middle of the day, it doesn't matter. I hop on my bike, put on my weights, and I'm riding up to Singing Beach, up the hill, hands-free. In the afternoon, I see some of my neighbors, friends, and they're like double takes. And I'm just doing what I've done for 35 years. Okay. That's how I can do this. And when I went around that little roundabout, that little, what do you call it in America? I don't know. It's a roundabout rotary in my little village there, that I one day said, oh, wow, I did that hands-free and I got my balance. So that's when I realized on the bicycle, the balance. So this friend of mine, he was working on me. We're going on a fishing boat with me, like be my deckhand on my fishing boat when I was growing up in Manchester by the Sea. So we got a bit of a bond. He came offshore with me and went offshore lobstering. I helped him out get some good money, good paying jobs. So he never forgot that. But I kind of forgot it. He goes, oh, you remember this, remember that? I go, oh, yeah, man. And so we had a good connection. He says, you know, I tried that riding without my hands, never mind the weights. He said, I like almost fell on my bike. He's like, how do you, it's just practice. That's all. So why do I do that? Because of parallel leveraging, something I call parallel leveraging. And I do it like all day long, really, when I'm just living into the day. One of the things is when I'm riding my bike that so many things are going on. You think, people say, oh, yeah, okay, so you work today. I'm going to work my lowers tomorrow. I'm going to work my uppers and then do my lowers again. And I'm like, why not do them together? Why not be really efficient? Why not really be effective? So to build muscle, I put on extra, those are 5-pound ankle weights on my wrist. So when you're out here, it's giving you, if you're lifting weights in the gym, 15 pounds or something, that's or 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Some people are really strong, right? So they're doing 50 pounds out here with the barbells. Maybe my daughter, but she loves the gym. She loves weights. So I add that. And it just adds a little more tone. And that's what I'm after. I'm not after building big muscle or anything. I'm after tone. And I like to be outside. So fresh air, I'm getting my vitamin D. So important today. It's always important, whether there's an illness around or not, or whatever it is. And it's important that we get vitamin D. Vitamin D lack of it is a cause of lots of illnesses. So I'm getting vitamin E, riding my bike, working my uppers, working my lowers. Usually I'll do that at lunchtime, I go in the morning for a quick ride. I just call a quick bike ride. It's like 20 minutes. That's not a workout. That's just a quick stretch in the morning. Fresh air, the birds, the sunshine coming up. I'm feeling it, getting energized. And that energy carries through the day. And even when I don't feel like it, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do it. No, I just do it. Just do it. I mentioned that, Nike's got it right. Does Nike have it all right? Some of the things, the way they make their things, they don't have it all right, but that's okay. That is right. Okay. Just do it. That's it. Then on top of the lowers, the uppers, the sunshine. Deep breathing. I am practicing keeping my posture straight because I'm not bent over on the bike. So I become conscious of my posture on the bike. Matter of fact, I bend back to make sure that it's really straight. And I can really feel the sunshine. And then I sometimes just, when I'm done riding, I just ride with my hands out. Like, so if you're doing energy work, I will just keep riding and I'll stop pumping and I'll just, because it's like so beautiful at night, maybe 10 o'clock. And I just ride and feel the breeze and connect with the universe, with God, with the whatever it is out the higher power, whatever, the energetic world. And I do energy work on my bicycle. I'm like really become one with, okay? And you can too. Maybe you do. And, you know, it's great. You know the benefits then if you do this, any of this, where you're parallel leveraging, excuse me. And here is a lime, warm lime juice in water every day to help your pH. And it does, like I was looking at a video yesterday, and this like 9 crazy things, probably a lot more. Those are things that this guy knows about. So 9 things. Do I need to know them all? No. But when someone tells me there's 9 benefits, I need to see 2 or 3. And I'm like, yeah. I don't need to know every little detail of like why something is good for me. I don't know every little detail about exercising, but I do know it's good for me. I don't need to know the science behind all of that. I feel better after I exercise every single time without fail. This is one thing that's for sure. It's a definite. Oh, nothing is definite. Yes, that is. That's a definite. Proven time and time and time and time and time again. So we live into our energy. And I can tell you another thing, like if I get traveling, I get on the plane and I do this punching like I'm doing on my bike, and I bend and I kick and I stretch and I kick really high. A woman taught me this in Thailand in 1987 in the park, in Lumpini Park. I'm like observing this college girl doing, or very young girl, doing a morning exercise. And I never forget, she just did a bend over, touch the ground, and then she did this kick, and then she did this twisting. And I've been doing these 3 things ever since. And I still amaze myself that I can kick like 6 feet in the air plus. And I amaze a few other people too, but that's the way that goes. And I put some ankle weights on there sometime and do that too. And I do this up in the park when I was living in the hot. I do it. I'll do it sometimes in my little town of Manchester by the Sea, but I do it here. And I work. That feels good. So the more you do, the more you feel good. And the more you feel good, the more you want to do it. So you start this outward spiral. But you got to get the flywheel going. So I used to have this little boat with a 6 horsepower inboard engine, you can imagine, with 1 spark plug. The thing weighed like 300 pounds, and it had a flywheel, this round thing, flywheel, and you had to start it with a rope. And it was the noisiest engine, pop, 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 single cylinder. And you could hear the boat all across the harbor. And the momentum of that flywheel kept that engine going once it started, and the spark. So it was an orchestration of a couple of things going on, not like a 4-cylinder, a 3-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, an 8-cylinder, or 12-cylinder. One. And so like you and me, one, we can build the momentum in anything we do. And it really starts, you got to start with the diet. This is what's left. This is all like organic green stuff. Fortunately, there's a couple of people that grow organic veggies down the road, and amaranth here in Thailand from a big bundle, like $1. It's organic. I'm like, it's crazy. It's huge package. So I have it put in my drink every day. I drink it twice a day, and it flushes the poisons out and cleans you and energizes you. And we know about juicing. It's just another drink for me, but I need to make sure. But you make sure that you don't just drink a drink on an empty stomach. You have like some kind of fruit or something, or another whole food to spark the absorption of the acids in your stomach, to absorb it and put it in your system. So getting up in the morning, what do? You get up in the morning. Actually, I was doing this. There's a book called List Yourself. And I thought, I got maybe a quarter of the way through it. And every year I'm adding. It's how you can write like a life story or an outline or stuff that you did that you can look back and you say, well, that was really stupid. Oh, that was really good. And so we see some growth in the imperfect world, in the perfectness of the imperfect human being. We look and we grow. And so the next empty page was like, so what do you think about when you wake up? I thought, how cool is that? So I was sitting looking at the water fountain in front of my room through the palm trees and listening to the birds. And there's just this one giant tree with all these trees, being grateful. Okay, I was doing meditation, 24 minutes, 24 seconds. I always ask why. Because it adds to 6. 6 and 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Oh, it's a Trinity number. A good number. It's a powerful number. I just never knew why I picked 24 minutes, 24 seconds. But I did, and I've been doing that for years. I mean, like 25 years, I don't know, 20 years, whatever. And it's not an important number. It could be. I don't know. It's not. Maybe it's important for you. Maybe it isn't. But the bottom line is you get in that quiet space. Thoughts come, thoughts go. And if they're important thoughts, I make notes. And I empty my head, but something might come in. I don't fight it. Let it come, let it go. And remain, the emptier it is, the farther out we go. The farther I go in through the trees, the farther I go into a different state, the farther we go into a different state. So I don't know if that's an alpha state, a beta state. I don't know about that science. But I was years ago studying one person, and he mentioned the states that you go to these different levels. So that wasn't, I mean, I can read all about it and I can intellectualize it all and ruin it. Or I can sit. I mean, it's nice to know some of the things, the mechanics of it. It's not necessary, though. And this is where people complicate life. I really like to keep life simple and really plug in on the common sense part of life. If you hear a hammer, that's upstairs. They're making jewelry. I'm in my company in Thailand. Here in Samut Prakan, I got to say, it's the mango capital of the world. And it's a little side note, mango season and durian season. Oh, my God. Durian is so loaded with delicious fat. It's so creamy and so delicious. And I like it. My wife gets one piece for lunch, a little bit. And it's for a month. So you treat yourself. It's like a gift from God or a gift from above, and enjoy life. You know, when you're so strict, you miss out part of life. So when you're meditating, how do I meditate? Well, just be quiet. Sit and shut off the noise. And keep doing it until you're able to just let the thoughts go through, let them go through, and the ones that seem it'll happen. I mean, it's different for every single person, but it's the same. And the thoughts that come through your mind, some are like gifts and valuable. So in my mind, why would I not want to like stop for a second and write down something and get back to that silence? Because it's really useful. Sorry, I got to plug in my computer. Let's see. Okay. Now, so when we wake up first and we open our eyes, yes, what is it that we think? What do we look forward to? What are we going to choose for the day? And how are we going to enter the day? I do some breathing, not every morning. I do some deep breathing. I like the sunshine. I'm grateful for the sunshine. Open the curtains, look at the trees, open the window, open the door on the porch, on the balcony, go out, listen to the birds. I don't know where you live. I don't know what you do, but whatever you do in the morning, make it a centering event to enter the consciousness of the day in the best way you know how. And that is to collect your thoughts, not grab a cigarette or, and I used to do that. I used to smoke 4.5 packs a day. And I quit. Doctor said, don't do it, you get emphysema, quit. And when my parents used to smoke, and when the doctor said, quit smoking, they did. I mean, so fortunately, they had the willpower. And this is really, I'm reading Paramahansa Yogananda, which I've been reading for decades and decades and decades. This little book, The Law of Success. Little book, powerful. Willpower. It's our willpower. And that's when you wake in the morning. What are you going to do? It's a choice. It's your choice. It's your life. It's what are you going to do? It doesn't have to really be a big deal. But for some people, if you're shifting from just like the sprawl, right? Like you get up and you go, and you're not really thinking about what you're doing, but maybe you have the whole day planned. The following day, some people are very good at that. They plan and they follow through, and it's like 1 minute to the next, and that's very rewarding. For me, I'm not that way. I have a loose knit plans and plans to make this happen, allow this to happen, allow this to happen. And that is one area I continue to work on. My ability to properly plan. Made it through life this pretty far, and I was able to earn lots of money without a really tight plan and stay fit and well. So the journey is the journey you choose, the journey that works for you, the journey that charges you. And one of the most difficult, one of the biggest, I would say, and it's not talked about very much. One of the biggest challenges, one of the biggest misleading statements is to do it this way and only this way. You need to do this every morning. Boom, boom, boom. No, you don't. You need to flow. There's a 4-letter word called flow. And 10 or 15 years ago, I realized that I really like that word, flow. Flow with life. Don't make it a struggle, first of all. When things come to you, choose how to see them. Useful, not useful. And if you don't see the useful in it, then you have to ask, where is it? So when someone says you got to do it this way, this way, this way to get this result, that worked for them, maybe, or they read it in the book and they're repeating what somebody else told them to do. And if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't hit your gut, if it's not in your consciousness, and the best thing for you, energetically disconnected is what I'm saying, then you're like, it becomes the struggle, right? You're trying to do something that doesn't really vibe with you because someone said this is the way to do it. You need to do things the best way. And so I've listened to many masters and studied many masters, and maybe you have too. And what I do is I take the really good stuff from them. Everything I'm saying isn't for you. There's certain things. Take what seems like the stuff that'll help you and leave the rest behind. Now, I don't like everything about me. I don't like everything about everybody. It's about, that's the journey. We're always working to improve. But I learned to like a lot of things about me just because that's me, and you too, right? It's us. We're here. We got to live with what we got. And then we just need to do the best we can. And if we don't use our willpower and our ability to choose and decide what's best for us, then we're never going to know what's best for us. We have to try different things. And that's pretty much it. And that energizes you. How is it going to help you stay fit, right? So as you wake in the morning, you think, hey, do I have 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Did I make time in my day? So when I go through my day, do I want to, stretch and get some exercise in somehow? Am I putting the fuel that supports me? And remember, the 70-30 rule, 80-20 rule, the 90-10 rule, whatever. If you have a rule, they're rough numbers. But it's the idea that you do more eating of healthy foods. You do more of the useful things than the things that's a balance, right? A balance. You're in balance when you're doing 80% really healthy foods. And 20%, hey, you're living. For everybody else, the balance is different. So what works for you? What works best? How much do you need the 70, the 80, the 90%, or 100% of really clean food for say 3 months to flush? And then you can back off, and then you break the habit of the garbage. Sometimes you just got to go for it all. Say, I'm not doing that, because that little bit will throw you off. And then you lose your energy. You go down, you beat yourself up because you weren't successful at it. A little bit at a time. And if you've just really had it, for, feeling bad or feeling not good, or not enough energy, not feeling strong, not feeling strength. And another thing is, when you start physically changing your body and you wake up, and people talk about looking in the mirror all the time, right? What do you see? Do you want to improve? Or, we always are looking to improve, but are you starting to like what you're seeing? Starting to feel a little better? And start to give yourself a little credit, more credit, and lifting yourself up a little bit more every day because of the reward from the action. That propels us forward, and that's the difference between the adventure and the struggle. Find the thing that you enjoy, that is movement, creativity, and generates money for you too. all of these things can be combined. That's why I have the fairs, festivals, and events and the total life freedom, because you're outside, you're in the sunshine, you're doing all this parallel leveraging, you're meeting people, you're vibrating, you're smiling. Pull that thing down and smile and have a great time with these people and enjoy the passions at a fair and festival and an event. Life is a big festival, or it should be, in my mind. I've always made it that what's over the horizon, the curiosity, like, so what's in this fair? What's in this festival? What's in this country? What are these people doing? And the market's place in Thailand, that's why I think they call it the land of smiles, is like, you go to these markets and there's more variety of food than you can imagine. And it's festive every day. And people are smiling and laughing. And I mean, I go to the marketplace and I respect it, I put the mask on and I just I'll pull it down and I'll break a smile because I want to see people light up. Boom, you're charged electrically. And that's another way to energize yourself. This thing with a mask, I'm telling you, we've got to show some smiles and emotions. We can with our eyes, but that's just not good enough. It's not good enough. But we know this thing's changing and it's really good. So now it is time to get out to fairs, festivals, and events. A little side note, if you want more information, advertisement is click on the link, subscribe, and join us for the fairs, festivals, and events. Dash your total life freedom. Get out. And I built these programs, these really cool programs. Like, you can start small, you can go to another level, or another level, like an enterprise to a starter pack. And I train you about the parts that matter about, and actually it's more than just the making of the money. It's a lifestyle of freedom that I have lived for all my life. I've done pretty much everything that I wanted to do, regardless of what people have told me. You should do this, you shouldn't do that. Well, sometimes I learned the hard way. Too bad, Peter. You wanted to do it your way. It didn't work. That's okay. I learned something, but I had the experience. Like, I've had restaurants and stores, and I just publishing all kinds of stuff because I thought it would be interesting to do. I didn't have just one business and make mega millions. I made millions, but I didn't just make, because I wasn't just, I'm going to do this and put a bunch of money in it. But no, I wanted the adventure of different. Variety is the spice of life for me. I don't know about you, but some people just love like physics, and I love rocket ships, and I like to put a rocket ship in space, and that is my thing. I honor that 100% for sure. When you know exactly what it is you want to do and you go for it, that is living into your passion. And if you don't, and you're wanting, I'm a bit of a gypsy. I like to go and discover and see what's new, see the cultures, the foods, the way people live, how the world is constructed, how it's grown, the amazingness of the sameness and the amazingness of the difference in different cultures. And people are good, and we have to find the goodness, the love, the caring, the kindness in everyone. And part of our job is to open them up. And when we do, we're at a higher energy, where we have more energy. And then maybe because we've done an uplifting thing, we have more energy to exercise, to move, to stay fit. So back to fairs and festivals. In the training, I'm like saying, well, you're bending, you're twisting, you're outside, getting vitamin D. In most cases, it's sunny for a fair and a festival. If it rains, so get on your computer and make some money, have some fun, go learn something new, do whatever it is that you want to do. But just when you're doing it, if you're fit and energetic consistently, just focus on it. Ask the question, how can I have more energy? And sometimes we're not feeling it, right? Or in the morning or wherever it is. And we don't have energy. We're just having an off day. It's our job to, it's not easy, right? It is not easy with some of the stuff that we get bombarded, especially now. It seems like it's stacking up. But that's when we really, the practice comes in. Get up, move. Physiology, you feel better. Then you start looking at things, and then you start to say, what's the seed of opportunity? This cycle in the life cycle of the centuries. I mean, life is always in flux, and we're just going through another time that is challenging. And what is the upside to all of this? What is going to be the greatness that comes from this? We have to, we can't sit back in times like this, okay? This is the worst thing you can do, is sit back and get beat down and not generate your energy. So if there's a time where you need your energy, it is now. Find the sunshine in the day. Find the sunshine, find the seed of opportunity, the seed that is given to you for change. In the darkest of a day, there is something there. There's a lesson that we must learn. There is something that we can benefit from. So just like the pain in my back, when I got out of that Z28, I loved driving that thing. I used to think, oh man, Steve McQueen. And I would get off a ship and I would fly into San Francisco. I mean, and then a couple of different things. I'd get off the ship to jazz in San Francisco, 3:00 in the morning, whether I flew in there, whether I got off a ship. I mean, I'm driving this car on the hills of San Francisco, like the movie, and I'm thinking, yeah. And I took the car out of the air 3:00 in the morning, and there's no traffic, right? So I'm just like, yeah, Steve can do it. I can do it. So I'm driving this Z28 up and down the hills of San Francisco, having a blast. And I love that car. It was a great car to sell jewelry out of, from San Francisco to Seattle. But my back, right? Because I didn't stay fit, but I got fit and the back never hurt again. But I had such pain. So think about the pain that we are presented today in some cases, right? Things are not maybe as good as they could be, right? And in some cases, maybe they are for you. But if, like with this thing, this CV thing, okay, it's like a bit challenging. So find the gold, find the upside. Like it was my sister's birthday, and so I answered a letter to her. And in that, she says, it's getting old. And I'm like, yeah, sure it is. And she lives way up in New Hampshire, and there's lots of space. And I'm like, but we got to look at the upside, right? I said, traffic is down in Thailand. The air is so clean. On the air quality index, it's yellow and green all the time. I mean, that just was kind of unheard of. And there's no traffic. The air is clean, and the food is good. The sun shines out. So let's find the seed, the positiveness to lift us up, move, twist. If you're depressed, if you're not feeling good, this trainer, he goes like, look, and someone trained him. He's like, okay, so if you're feeling depressed, it's hard. You're looking down, you're like like you're feeling the weights. You got to lift up. It's this physiology thing. One thing, if you take away one thing, if you're really on, if you're feeling kind of down and stuck, you got to get up. You have to do it. And don't feel comfortable in that. Like, it's easy to wallow in this stuff. I know. I mean, years ago, I did it, but I didn't like it. And that's like, I didn't like the pain in my back. And I did whatever it took to change because I would not accept it any longer. How about you? What are you accepting in your life? That you have the power to change. You have the power. You have the power. You have the power to change. You get up and you move. And stand. Get up. Pretend you have a cape on your back. Move around your room. Just move. Feel the energy. Bend over, twist. I mean, if you haven't bent over in a while, be careful, right? But start generating energy. So physiology, and you can also do it just by sitting here and saying, I'm building energy inside. You can see it. And with a little practice, you can do that anytime. Like when I come to do these shows every day, like I'm thinking, another show. But, I'm just like, boom, I just turn it on and I get, this is with a little practice over time. I mean, I have this energy in case you didn't notice it, and it comes from these things, right? And it comes from the coffee, the clean water, the food, the energy, and the movement. And then my attitude changes because I can find the gold. You too. You can find the gold in the gray, in a gray day. And if you got to get up and move from where you're living, just go. Just get out, move. And think about if you're having a challenge and it's every day in, day out, day in, you don't know what you're going to look, just get up. I will tell you every time that I have made a change where I said, I'm sitting and thinking, I don't know if I should go to Europe. I don't know if I should go here. I don't know if I should do this, that, or the other thing, or if it's just the next state or next town or whatever the thing is. I ask this one question. I say, okay, Peter, I'm talking to myself, and I just like, okay, it's self-talk. And is it positive? Is it useful? Do you have self-talk? We all have self-talk. So I'm like saying, I know what I've done for the last month, 2 months, or 2 weeks. And I want more in my life. And what I'm doing is, okay, it's like, it's all right, I'm living life. But I want more. And if I go to a new horizon that I don't know what's there, and I don't really feel like it, I ask that question. I say, well, you know what you got. And you haven't done this thing before. You don't know what's there. It's the unknown that I feed on. Some people are afraid, I don't know, I'm afraid of the unknown. Go there. Go to space. Find out what's there. Get excited and get your energy. You get charged by these things. Makes you want to move, makes you want to do more. And at a minimum, get out to fairs, festivals, and events. They're opening up. Get moving. See smiling faces. Get energy and enjoy. So I would just go and do whatever it was that I didn't want to do. I don't feel like it. You know how that goes, right? I don't want to. But then you get up and you go. And you're like, every single time when we stretch ourselves a little or a lot, there is a gift. Something like, wow, I'm so glad I did this because I was thinking that, and then something happened, and something else happened, and something else happened, and life happens. So I'm going to leave it there. And it's movement. Choose your movement. I like Billy Blanks. I started Billy Blanks in 1989. My wife does it. There's a few old videos online. Then he got really cutting edge and got over the edge, like, these hour and a half sessions. If you really want to be ripped and everything, that's fine. I don't need to be ripped. I just want to be fit and trim and feeling good and have a lot of energy and eat the right foods and stuff. That's all. That's me. And some people want to be fit and ripped and all that. And I honor that, because if that's your passion, that is so cool too. I mean, you see someone that's ripped, you gotta give them credit. They worked hard, and it's pretty attractive, as long as it's not over the edge. I mean, that's my opinion. And I'm just like, it's so cool what we can do. What are you gonna do? This is Peter Stone. I'll see you there tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, click in, and if you're on Instagram, come join us on YouTube. We got a live stream, and we're doing like Facebook, MeWe, and Gab, and a few others. And we're just putting the insurance. You be smart today. Just be smart. Don't rely on one source to tell you what to do and how to do it and when they're going to do it and whatever they're going to post, they're going to post. Be free. Live your life and find your energy. This is Peter Stone. I will see you tomorrow.